Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fall Convocation 2019. We acknowledge the traditional territory of Treaty 6 and the homeland of the Métis on which we have gathered for this event. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with one another. Please stand as you are able for the honor song and the procession of our graduands and the Chancellor's platform party. Thank you to our drum group, Buffalo Boy Productions, for performing today's honor song. We are fortunate today to have His Honor, the Honorable Russ Morasti, Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, with us for convocation. In a moment, I will ask you to listen to the Vice-Regal Salute, which will be played at the Lieutenant Governor's entrance. The Vice-Regal Salute comprises excerpts from God Save the Queen and O Canada. Please do not sing during the Vice-Regal Salute. Following the salute, would you please remain standing and join our vocalist Angela Urichanin in the singing of O Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, His Honor, the Honorable Russ Morasti, Lieutenant Governor of the Province of Saskatchewan. Please be seated. Once again, graduands and distinguished guests, welcome. My name is Beth Bilson. I'm the university's secretary, and I have the honor of introducing to you the members of the platform party you see before you. So beginning with the front row on my left and your right, Russ Eisinger, University Registrar, Patty McDougall, Vice Provost Teaching, Learning and Student Experience, Karen Chad, Vice President Research, Deborah Posega-Osborne, Vice President University Relations, Patricia Dowling, recipient of the Master Teacher Award, Jacqueline Ottman, Vice Provost Indigenous Engagement, Roland Duquette, Elder, Tony Vanelli, Provost and Vice President Academic, the Honorable Don Morgan, Minister of Justice and Attorney General and Minister of Labor Relations and Workplace Safety, President Peter Stoichev, incoming Chancellor Grit McCreath, His Honor, the Honorable Russ Morasti, Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan. You probably noticed him before. Peter Bonham-Smith, Dean, College of Arts and Science. Michelle Prytula, Dean, College of Education. Suzanne Cresta, Dean, College of Engineering. Chad London, Dean, College of Kinesiology. Martin Phillipson, Dean, College of Law. Preston Smith, Dean, College of Medicine. Trevor Crow, Dean, College of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. And in the second row, Kent Stobart, Associate Dean, College of Medicine. Jacqueline Huck, Secretary to the University Retirees Association. Mark de Jong, representing the Chancellor, the University of Manitoba. Roy Romano, Chancellor Emeritus. Vera Pezer, Chancellor Emerita. Merlis Belcher, alumni. Jane Graham, alumni. Members of the Board of Governors, Joy Crawford, Grant Isaac, Erica Lawson, MLA, Saskatoon University. Bruce Sparling, Associate Dean Academic, College of Engineering. Terry Fonstad, Associate Dean Research and Partnerships, College of Engineering. Keith Willoughby, Dean Edwards School of Business. Melissa Just, Dean University Library. Angela Bedard-Hahn, Associate Dean, College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Jane Alcorn, Dean, College of Pharmacy and Nutrition. Phil Woods, Associate Dean, College of Nursing. Doug Brothwell, Executive Director, School of Public Health. Teresa Pazlowski, Associate Dean, School of Rehabilitation Science. Chris Clark, Associate Dean, Western College of Veterinary Medicine. Don Wallin, Associate Dean, College of Education. And in the third row, our orators, Geraldine Balzer, Shirley Haynes, Wendy Klingenberg. From the University Senate, Jonathan Hepner, Linda Browning, Richard Cote, Anne Doig, Stuart Garvin, Marcel de la Gorgendiere, Don Hamilton, Robert Henderson. Grant Devine, member of the Board of Governors. Chelsea Wilness, Associate Dean, Edwards School of Business. Fatima Kuvadia, faith leader. Regan Rat-Misponas, President, University of Saskatchewan Student Union. Chiamaka Eksekwesili, Vice President, External Graduate Students Association. Mohammed Wadzi Alam, Vice President, Finance and Operations, Graduate Students Association. Fran Wally, Associate Dean, Academic, College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Carrie Simonson, Associate Dean, College of Engineering. Kent Kowalski, Associate Dean, College of Kinesiology. David Burgess, Associate Dean, College of Education. Nancy Turner, Director, Teaching and Learning Enhancement. And behind them, and I would ask them to stand, members of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan. Would you please join me in expressing to all these faculty, administrators, and members of our governing body our thanks for the work they have done supporting, teaching, and encouraging our graduates. Your Honor, the University of Saskatchewan Act provides that there shall be a Chancellor of the University who is appointed by the Senate of this University in accordance with the provisions of the Act. On April the 27th, 2019, the Senate appointed Grit McCreath as Chancellor. Therefore, Your Honor, on behalf of the Convocation of the University of Saskatchewan, I present to you Grit McCreath and ask that in your capacity as Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, you install her as our university's 16th Chancellor.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Before I administer the oath, I want to acknowledge everyone convocating today. Congratulations on this great achievement. I wish you all the very best in the future. I also want to address a few words to Grit McCreath. Ms. McCreath, this appointment is really a continuation of your ongoing contributions to this institution. Your love for this university and your knowledge and experience will serve the U of S well. Congratulations and thank you for your willingness to serve. And now I will proceed with the installation. Do you, Grit McCreath, pledge yourself to perform the duties of the Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan as prescribed by law and by the statutes of the university? And do you promise to defend the rights and to promote the welfare of the university and the members thereof?
I do so promise.
In the name of the University of Saskatchewan, I now install you, Grit McCreath, in the office of Chancellor of the University, and I invest you with the responsibility pertaining to that office. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I would like to call on the Honourable Don Morgan to make some remarks.
Good morning, Your Honor, President Choiseff, Chancellor McCreath, graduates, faculty, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Don Morgan. I'm the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, and today I'm filling in for Premier Scott Moe, who sends his regrets. It's my great privilege to join you today, a wonderful day for the University of Saskatchewan and for the entire province. We have a lot to celebrate this morning. Graduates, congratulations. Your hard work has paid off. I want to thank you and thank your families as well, because your families have played a huge role in your success. And of course, this is an auspicious occasion for another reason: the installation of the university's new Chancellor, Grit McCreath. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chancellor has a ceremonial role to play, but there is much more to the job. The Chancellor is also an advisor to the President and the University Board. And there is the expectation the Chancellor will be a passionate advocate for this institute and a strong supporter of education and young people. I believe that Grit McCreath is meant for this position. She checks every box. Although I must admit to a small amount of trepidation when I learned that she was the going to be the incoming Chancellor, because she indicated that she had been a grade 3 teacher of my colleague from the legislature, Gordon Wyant. So on behalf of the entire Wyant family, Chancellor, I want to offer belated apologies. Grit has served the university as a member of the Senate, the Board of Governors, and as an honorary ambassador. She has decades of experience in education as a teacher and administrator. She is deeply committed to advancing Indigenous education in our province. And outside the realm of education, Grit and her husband, Scott, are generous patrons of the arts and great supporters of Prince Albert National Park. Grit, I'm very pleased that you've agreed to take on this responsibility. You follow in the steps of Roy Romano, and that's a tough act to follow. Premier Romano was an outstanding chancellor. He has served this university with great distinction for many years. We're grateful for that service and for his many contributions to our province. Graduates, I want to congratulate you again. You should be proud of what you have accomplished. I know that you're looking forward to what comes next as you build your careers and start your families. I would urge you to take advantage of the many opportunities that Saskatchewan has to offer. This province has a bright future. We're counting on you to ensure that Saskatchewan continues to progress. So let me close with this, some heartfelt advice from someone that's a little bit or a lot older than you are. Graduates, whatever setback you experience in the years ahead, and there will be some, there will be disappointments, never ever get discouraged, never ever give up. Keep moving on forward, always. And if you're looking for information, you don't have to look far. On this campus, you'll find the Diefenbaker Canada Centre, named for our 13th Prime Minister, the Right Honourable John G. Diefenbaker. An overnight sensation that was decades in the making, John Diefenbaker won his first election at the age of 25 to the Village Council of Wausau. He wouldn't win another election for 20 years. In those 20 years, he lost 2 elections at the federal level, 2 elections at the provincial level, and he ran for mayor of Prince Albert and lost by 48 votes. Finally, after being elected to the House of Commons, he ran for leadership of the Progressive Conservative Party in 1942 and lost again. He ran again for the leadership in 1948 and once again lost. In 1951, he lost his first wife, Edna, to leukemia, but he kept on going, and in 1956, his fortunes changed. He was chosen leader of the Progressive Conservatives a year later and became Prime Minister. Graduates, life is a long race. We don't travel in a straight line. It's often 2 steps forward and 1 step back. The key is to keep running, keep on moving, and keep on heading in the right direction. In time, you will arrive at your destination. You'll get to where you want to go. It will be worth the effort. Thank you very much for listening. Best of luck in the future. It's my privilege to be here, and congratulations to all of you.
Honorable Lieutenant Governor Morasti, Minister Morgan, President Stoichev, Provost Finelli, members of the Platform Party, honored guests, family, friends, students, and Chancellor McCreath. As I was writing these notes, I was thinking about the ceremony today, anticipating the event that has taken place, the installation of Grit McCreath as the University of Saskatchewan's 16th Chancellor. I don't wonder what this will be like. I don't wonder what Grit will be like in this role. I know how Grit will take on the position of Chancellor at the U of S, and I want to tell you about that. I want to tell you about Grit. Grit has taken on and mastered multiple roles throughout her life. She's mastered daughter, sister, wife, mother, aunt, and most importantly, grandmother. Grit has also mastered other important roles: student, teacher, principal, author, board member, chair, donor, director, and community leader. But my favorite among all of her roles are 3 that she unselfishly commits to, but is too humble to mention, and these are remarkable teacher, extraordinary supporter, and inspiring role model. And no matter what role Grit McCreath takes on, there's a common thread across them all. Because of her generous nature, her true heart, and her sincere love of people, Grit has influenced the lives of thousands across the prairies and beyond in notable, inspiring, and long-lasting ways. Grit is the true definition of a master teacher. Following her own convocation from the U of S College of Education in 1991, Grit continued her 32-year career as an educator, a career that was time and emotionally intensive because of the way that she is, because of her stalwart commitment to students. Grit was called time and time again to take on increasingly challenging leadership roles in public and private education in cities across Canada. She often worked in communities suffering from high poverty and transiency, which we recognize as barriers to student learning. But because of her commitment and perspective, Grit, of course, flourished, and her students flourished. The key to her resilience was, and still is, the love and deep care that she has for each and every student. To this day, one never hears disparaging stories about these challenging roles from Grit. Rather, Grit's stories are filled with gratitude and acknowledge the learning that she gained from her students. Grit's recognition of and care for others is truly palpable. Grit is an extraordinary supporter, and her support is infectious. This lady has made immeasurable contributions to community through her support of literacy, the arts, and education. Grit served as host for the Remy Modern campaign, director of the Waskesiu Foundation, author of Waskesiu and Its Neighbors, and she and Scott sponsored the White Museum and the Rawlinson Center. Their contributions to these initiatives exceed $330,000. Grit and Scott have donated over $250,000 to support many University of Saskatchewan scholarships, along with the College of Education Active Learning Classroom and the college's newly designed Revisit Ed walls. Grit served on the Board of Governors at the U of S. She delivered and continues to deliver keynote and guest speaking events, so many across campus. She serves as host for the USask Leadership Summit and served on the Husky Home Ice campaign. She's also a stalwart and unrelenting advisor to the College of Education. Grit served on the board of directors for the Famous Five Foundation. She served in multiple leadership roles, including the YWCA, the St. Albert Public Library, Junior Achievement Alberta, and the Calgary Resolve campaign to end homelessness. The Resolve campaign, through that, Grit has raised over $74 million to facilitate affordable housing for almost 2,000 people. And while Grit gives of herself through her time, her energy, and financial contributions, she remains an inspiring role model to so many. She uses every opportunity that she can to engage, advance, and empower others. She never speaks about the struggles of volunteerism or the challenges that come with fundraising and its setbacks, but rather she warmly and gratefully shares that it is a true privilege to volunteer in community with others. And when Grit has been acknowledged with recognitions and awards throughout her career, such as an Excellence in Teaching Award, a Woman of Distinction Award, the Conference Board of Canada Royal Bank Partners in Education Award, an Alumni of Distinction Award, and a Saskatchewan Order of Merit, Grit is quick to pass the acknowledgement onto her parents, whom she credits with teaching her to be dedicated, hardworking, but most of all, grateful for the opportunities to live and learn in this beautiful place. I have never met anyone like Grit, someone so willing to give of her time, pass on credit to others, and commit to supporting all work in education. This is Grit McCreath. I am privileged to call her a fellow College of Education alumna, a priceless mentor and support, and a dear friend. Thank you, Grit, and congratulations. We are so very fortunate to have you support the university in this role. I will step away now, as there are many others who want to congratulate you, Grit, and technology has given us the chance to do so. In this video, here are a few representatives from the university community who want to wish you well today. Chancellor McCreath.
Grit and I met in the spring of 2009 when she attended her first Board of Governors meeting. And after she entered the room and introduced herself to absolutely everyone who was there, she took the seat next to me and we became fast friends. Both she and Scott have a love of the institution. They love the University of Saskatchewan. They've been connected for many years and they've been very generous in many ways with the university. And I think being chancellor is just one more opportunity for Grit to stay connected to the institution, and I think it's wonderful for the university to have someone with her talents in that role.
Every convocation, the College of Education hosts a lunch with the faculty just before convocation. And I think it was 5 years ago, Grit came to that lunch and she made an indelible mark on me. She filled the room with her excitement and with her interest in the work that we were doing in the college. I've tried to find the single word that really represents Grit. I think it's builder. She, in her generosity, in her interest, in her dedication. She builds spaces for members of the university to develop their own capacity. But in addition to that, she also builds interest of alumni, interest of others in the work that we do at the university.
The first impression I had from Chancellor McCreath is that she is a very humble person, very friendly, very approachable, and very easy to talk. I think she has a really good quality. She's a really good communicator. She is the 16th chancellor of this university, but the 4th female chancellor. So I think she's a role model for graduate students as well as undergraduate students.
I believe that Grit McCreath and I were bound to meet. And so here we are at the same place and at the same time. The words that come to mind when I think of Chancellor Grit McCreath are generosity, enthusiasm, sincerity, warmth, commitment, and heart. Chancellor McCreath is a very important ally for all students, but I could say definitely for Indigenous students.
When I was serving on the Board of Governors, I was 22, and the Board of Governors is a very intimidating place, can be, for a young person. And in my first meeting, Grit introduced herself to me, told me to sit down beside her, and she made sure that in that meeting and every subsequent meeting, that I felt comfortable, that I knew that I belonged there, and that she was going to work hard to make sure that if I had any questions, that she could be there to help support me. And since leaving the university, I've had the great opportunity to sit and talk with Grit about how do we have conversations with Canadians about truth and reconciliation. Grit, of course, and her husband Scott have been supporters of Indigenous students in the College of Business for many years now, and I think are an example for non-Indigenous Canadians of what their calls to action are to advance reconciliation at home and across the country.
Grit, we wish you every success as the 16th Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan. You're awesome.
On behalf of USaska students and Senate, congratulations, Chancellor McCreath.
On behalf of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan, congratulations, Chancellor McCreath.
Congratulations, Chancellor Grit McCreath, and I look forward to working with you.
On behalf of USask alumni, congratulations, Chancellor McCreath.
Good morning, and what a wonderful day. Lieutenant Governor Morasti, Minister Don Morgan, Chancellor Emerita Pezer, Chancellor Emeritus Romano, President Stoichev, MLA Olason, distinguished guests, graduands, friends, and family. Thank you. I am truly humbled by the introductions. Anything is possible. The honor of becoming the 16th Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan is a privilege and a dream. I pledge my solemn commitment to our university, the students, faculty, staff, and administration, and to the people of Saskatchewan to do my utmost to maintain and advance the reputation and standards of this exceptional institution. It is the university the world needs. Canada is a peaceful country, a democracy with the rule of law. We are multicultural and a nation with an enviable record of accepting immigrants. We all know our country has been built on the shoulders of the newcomers from around the world. The flow of new Canadians has accelerated because of global conflict. We are experiencing the largest migration in history. It is inconceivable that I stand before you today, and it is impossible for me to describe how meaningful this university has been in my life and what a motivational force it has been for me and my entire family. Today, you have my heart, for I am an immigrant, and this is my story. I was born after the Second World War in Germany. My mother was German, and my dad Russian Mennonite. They courageously made the decision to leave war-torn Europe and boarded the Cunard liner RMS Scythia, which was used by the International Refugee Organization to ferry people to begin a new life in Canada. It must have been a bit of a shock for them and my older brother Jurgen to find themselves living in Brooks, Alberta, in a basement, on the prairie, heated by coal, with no house on top. With the help of the Mennonite community, we moved to Saskatoon. My parents bought a modest wartime house on 15th Street. By now, I had 3 brothers, and our move into the University District was the start of my odyssey with this institution. My parents, who were both academics in Europe, received credit for 1 year of university beyond grade 12 for their degrees, and thus began classes at the University of Saskatchewan, all the while raising 4 children and holding down jobs. On endless occasions, I found myself outside a lecture theater while one of my parents attended classes. I was supposed to wait quietly and read a book. However, the minute the professor closed the door, I was out and about exploring the campus. At a very young age, I loved the freedom of discovery. I became a little campus mouse. The university became a huge part of our lives. The symphony concerts, basketball games, football at the old Griffith Stadium, engineering and science open houses, and of course the new baby lambs and calves at the classic agriculture barn in the spring. After attaining their master's degrees, my parents became high school language teachers, French, German, Russian, and Latin. My mom at Walter Murray and my dad at Evan Hardy and Bedford Road. I am here today because of them. They were exceptional role models. That's where all the money went, the pursuit of education. I attended university for 3 years and started my teaching career at Grosvenor Park School, just 8 blocks from here. I lived at home, and with my first paycheck, I bought my dad a sports jacket from the Hudson's Bay. I guess it's actually possible that there is someone here today who took classes from either Ilse or Gerhard Hildebrandt. One of the great tragedies of my life occurred when I was 25. Both my parents passed away within 10 days of each other. My mom from cancer and my dad from a broken heart. They were wonderful people, generous, gentle souls. They were unique and adored by students. On the occasion of both their funerals, Grosvenor Park Church, just 5 blocks from here, overflowed onto the street with students. It was heartbreaking. My husband Scott and I are both graduates of the University of Saskatchewan, and in our immediate family, brothers, sisters, and offspring, we collectively have 23 degrees from this university. You know where the motivation came from. Scott and I left Saskatoon 49 years ago next month. 2 days after we were married, we left Saskatchewan. At that time, it was difficult to find work in Saskatoon, and 80% of the graduates at the College of Commerce, now Edwards School of Business, had to leave the province to find work. This year, 83% of the graduates have found work in Saskatchewan. If there's one thing we can celebrate, it's this transformation. It is a powerful example of this university's and this province's effort to retain the brightest and the best. Scott and I moved to Toronto, then Edmonton, and eventually Calgary, where we live today. But our connections to this place followed us and always brought us back to campus. Same goes for our two sons, Andy and James, who are here today as well. They are married and between them have 4 boys who might also have strong connections to this university one day. I taught for 32 years, all grades, and in the latter stages of my career, I was a high school administrator. I loved my job. My focus, by choice, was always to be on the staff of high-needs schools, mostly in the inner city. These schools were characterized by poverty, gangs, drugs, prostitution, language issues, and a strong police presence. I have seen everything. I could write a book. It's tough work, but the innumerable stories of the students who lift themselves up are nothing short of amazing. We are a very small world of linked fates. Our souls are combined. We are one. If one child cannot read, if one child is hungry, if one child is angry, the quality of life for everyone is affected. If angry and isolated kids turn to gangs for fulfillment, we are all impacted, and we can't escape the bubble. It matters. These are our gangs, our kids. No one can be left behind. This means we need to look after the progress of everyone. Education is the strongest and best way for that to be achieved. For my entire life as a student and as a teacher, I have seen how education changes lives. Throughout my career, our family was always lucky to return to our roots, to Saskatchewan, and in particular, my favorite place in the world, Waskesiu. I don't think I have ever missed a summer. Is there some water? That'd be great. Thank you. I have never forgotten the importance of this province and the importance of this university. It was a gift to grow up here and to experience the incredible beauty of this province and the northern boreal forest. No matter where we live, we always come back and give back, our focus being this institution. I have been lucky to have the university in my life since I was a child, and I can't believe the height our university has reached today. With the exceptional leadership of President Stoichev and his leadership team, to the outstanding vision that is rooted in indigenization, I can't wait to see where the University of Saskatchewan is headed. On occasions like this, it is critical that I share a little of what I have learned with you, what I can say that might encourage you to take your degrees and excel. Firstly, I hope you realize that this is not only one of the most beautiful campuses in Canada, but among the 96 universities in our country, this is one of the top 15. Your education and degree from this institution are treasures, and today you deserve noble recognition for your achievement. Your journey is just beginning. This is one of the most important days of your life so far, and I leave you with a few thoughts. Number 1, seek out positive and proactive energy. This will sustain you, and you will function at your maximum. You will get back what you give, and in the same vein, you will attract positive. Be kind, be grateful, and err on the side of generosity. The world belongs to optimists. Number 2, believe in yourself. Plan, Set goals and be ambitious. Nothing exceeds the magic of turning a dream into reality. And in this fast-paced culture, stay in the moment, focus. Number 3, never forget your roots. Stay in touch, give to others of yourself. It doesn't cost a thing, and it is priceless in what it gives to them and what it brings back to you. Tell someone they are appreciated. Tell someone they are wonderful. Now that you are graduating, your days will become less random. Develop new rituals or patterns that lead you into a kind of order. Crisscross the opportunities and find your spot. More important, find happiness. Have fun, laughter. I have a mantra. If we're not having fun, why are we doing it? Finally, for the rest of your lives, when you see a rainbow, I want you to remember this day, your convocation, and this great university where you earned your passage to tomorrow. In the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, it goes, "And the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Somebody tell me why. Somebody tell me if birds fly, why can't I? I must go now. Life is calling. I have work to do. If you can imagine, I must grant over 900 degrees. Anything is possible."
Well, thank you very much, Chancellor McCreath, eminent Chancellor, graduates and families, and honored guests. I thank the many people who are here today to be part of this moment in the University of Saskatchewan's history, and there are many on the stage I would like to thank. You have heard about most of them, but I want to acknowledge His Honor, the Honorable Russ Morasti, Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, our Minister of Justice, Don Morgan, MLA Erica Lawson, Elder Roland Duquette, who has sat on this stage for many, many convocations, supporting the university in its priority of being the best place it can be with Indigenous people, students, and communities. Also, the Buffalo Boys Drum Group. You heard from members of our board and Senate, and I acknowledge in particular the many faculty on this stage who are the core of the university. They have been leaders and mentors for so many of you who will graduate today. I want to congratulate Grit McCreath on becoming our 16th Chancellor. The role is a significant one, and it has been held by nation builders. She will make her mark as well, supporting the importance of education, strengthening our alumni connections, and bringing her irrepressible energy and enthusiasm to the role. We're here to celebrate a milestone in the lives of the graduands now, who will soon cross this stage. We're also here because this university has brought us together. A university is a wonderful thing, crucial to the ongoing conversation that we call democracy. We're so fortunate to be in Canada and to have the freedoms that we have. Given the world that we're in now, where it's difficult to separate what's true from what's not true, where our future depends on knowledge and the correct use of it, where research holds the key to our greatest challenges, where not only free speech but informed speech are critical to our humanity. Universities are needed more than they have ever been, and the University of Saskatchewan is needed more than it has ever been. It's one reason why we say we govern ourselves not only on the basis of what we want to be, but what the world needs us to be. What all of you Crossing this stage today, strengthened with a University of Saskatchewan degree, go on to do in your lives will matter immensely to our collective future. It's a great privilege to have a university education, and with that privilege comes great responsibility. If people like you don't make the world a better place, who's going to do it? We all need you to be thoughtful, educated, and humane leaders, because our world now depends on it. Some of the country's most formative political leaders got their degrees here. Not only a prime minister, but 9 Canadian premiers graduated from here. Many lieutenant governors of Saskatchewan and of other provinces as well. Many Canadian ambassadors to countries around the world. We all need you to become groundbreaking researchers who change how we understand the world we live in. Many who have gone on to do that graduated from here, and people who wanted to do that have come here because this has been a great place to do it. One was Gerhard Herzberg, who was offered a position here in 1935 by our first president, Walter Murray, to escape Nazi Germany when no other university on this continent had the vision or the humanity to offer him one. Herzberg won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the work he did while a professor here, as did Henry Taubé, who graduated from here as well. We need you to help find cures for cancer and for other health challenges. People at this university have done that. We're the home of the cobalt-60 radiation therapy cancer treatment that revolutionized cancer treatment in 1951 and saved the lives of millions of cancer patients around the world. Chancellor Sylvia Fedoruk worked on it. Many thousands of patients were treated here over the next 20 years until it was replaced with newer technology in 1971. At our synchrotron, the only one in Canada, we've pioneered how to produce medical isotopes without using a nuclear reactor. And our cyclotron now provides medical isotopes to RUH instead of bringing them in from Ontario, a fitting homage to that cobalt-60 work that was done here over half a century ago. Many kinds of health-related research and learning and community service occur here, including in nursing, rehabilitation science, public health, pharmacy and nutrition, in veterinary medicine as well. We need you to become great athletes and coaches, and graduates of this university have been among them. Olympian Sandra Schmerler, multi-sports athletes Pat Lawson and Chancellor Vera Pezer, and NHL coaches Mike Babcock and Dave King were at the University of Saskatchewan. In fact, 4 of the NHL's head coaches were student athletes here with Huskies hockey. That history of excellence is why we were able to build Merlis Belcher Place, and I thank Merlis for being on stage here again today and showing your support in so many ways for this university. We all need every one of you to help ensure peace. There are many roads to that great goal. Just over 100 years after the end of the First World War, and only 2 days after Remembrance Day, I'm reminded of the 345 U of S students, faculty, and staff who enlisted in it. 69 sacrificed themselves in the line of duty. They're commemorated on the university's memorial gates on College Drive. More than 100 more were wounded, and 35 were awarded Medals of Valor. We all need you to continue the work being done here on how to provide food to the world's rapidly growing population. In order to meet the world's food needs, agricultural productivity needs to almost double. Our Global Institute for Food Security is helping do just that, enabled by great work done at this university over decades, including by our Crop Development Center and the College of Engineering, that helped reduce the amount of farmland under summer fallow from almost 50% in 1970 to a fraction of 1% today. The economic impact for this province in this University of Saskatchewan area alone is in the neighborhood of $40 billion. We've added to that economic impact in many ways, including by developing the varieties of crops that make this province and this country the export powerhouses that they are. So the University of Saskatchewan degree that you have all worked hard to receive today has tremendous value. Many employers tell me that when they see an application from a University of Saskatchewan graduate, it gets special attention because the quality of the university is so high, because of its graduates' work ethic that's part of our prairie roots, and because you're problem solvers. And we all need you to solve problems that we can't even imagine today. Saskatchewan's future will depend on it, and the world's future will depend on it. This underscores the critical importance of investing in higher education and the fact that we are a crucial part of the province's future success. One of Canada's top-ranked research universities, the University of Saskatchewan ensures this province stays ahead of the innovation curve. Without our kind of research and teaching, there is no innovation. And without innovation, we have a diminished future. So now, more than ever before, we all need people with degrees like yours, from a university like yours, to help build a more sustainable world, a more equitable world, a world with the courage to embrace diversity and togetherness simultaneously. I'm proud that we now have students from over 130 countries attending the University of Saskatchewan, and many of those countries are represented by graduates here today. The world also needs us to be a university that responds to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and I'm grateful that the University of Saskatchewan is seen in this country as a participant, not as a bystander, in building reconciliation. This year, we have more Indigenous students at our university than ever before in our history. We're at a time when the country faces the greatest cultural challenge and opportunity of its history. Being the university the world needs today means committing to reconciliation. Achieving this will take a strategic mixture of patience and impatience, and it's going to take time. But as our first president, Walter Murray, wrote to a friend in 1908 when he was traveling here to begin his work, we are building for centuries. The University of Saskatchewan is a radical experiment in human culture, a place where we learn to be humble servants of a democratic society and respectful critics of it. None of you know exactly where you are headed, and that's okay. You take the journey, take the risks, find the passion, make a positive difference to a world that needs you now. It's a great privilege to have a university education, and with that privilege comes great responsibility. If people like you don't make the world a better place, who is going to do it? I know you will. We all know you will. Thank you in advance, on behalf of everyone here, for taking up this tremendous and timely challenge, and I congratulate you on this morning's milestone in your lives.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the University Senate and Board of Governors, I present to you the petition of the Council of this university that the candidates to be named, having fulfilled all the requirements of the bylaws, may, with your permission, be admitted to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which they are entitled.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the council of this university, I consent to admit you to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which you are entitled, and to vest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
So in a moment, you are going to be following in the footsteps of the 7 students who in 1912 shook the hand of the first Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan as the first graduating class. One of you is going to be the first person to shake the hand of the 16th Chancellor of the University of Saskatchewan. I'm sorry to say we don't have a prize, but you can tell your grandchildren. So I want to give you some guidance on what you're going to be doing next. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to stand and make your way to the platform. If you make your way to the platform on that side, you will enter the stage. Please stop and face the audience at that point, and a hood will be put around your shoulders. Once you have been hooded, you can proceed to the podium on that side of the platform, where the orator will present each of you by name. Once your name has been announced, and this is the critical part, please proceed to shake the Chancellor's hand. Without shaking the Chancellor's hand, you will not have graduated, so pay attention. The Chancellor will tell you that you've been admitted to the Convocation of the University of Saskatchewan. You can then proceed across the stage where the President will be waiting to shake your hand, and the Dean and the Associate Dean of your college will present you with a parchment. And you may then follow the path on this side of the platform and return to your seat. So if I could ask the students on this side to rise and proceed to the platform.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the Prairie Horticultural Certificate. I present to you Pamela Brandy Fisher. Carson Jocelyn Ramsey. Susan Laureen Woods. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the Diploma in Agribusiness. I present to you Jonathan Thomas Cooper, with distinction. Zhizhang Luo. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Animal Bioscience. I present to you Haley Elise Boland, with distinction. Amina Matilda Saeed, with great distinction. Brittany Ann Schreiner. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness. I present to you Reagan Zadunik. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Renewable Resource Management. I present to you Amanda Victoria Horvath. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. I present to you Hee-Yun Cho. Daniel James Edmonds. Tristan Taylor Jevry. Yanjun Liu. Darian Livingstone. Heran Zhang. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars from the College of Agriculture and Bioresources and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you J. Joseph Bauer. Tondere Chambwe. Selma Elieta Ferrero dos Santos. Puimi Nyantika Galage. Wasantika Galothege Dona. Amarjagal Gungabayar. Ivana Lee Hamilton. Serena Roslyn Klippenstein. Sandesh Nupane. Sakshi Parolia. Jessica Mary Prachler. Marcela Ribeiro Tosta. Wenjin Jiang. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the certificate in teaching English as a second language. I present to you Annette Trudy-Ann Thorney Miller. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and I ask that you will confer on them the certificate in Indigenous languages. I present to you Trevor Dean Gerard Iron. Cynthia Diane Job. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Education. I present to you Jasmine Albert. Raven Waleen Mildred Awasis. Valentina Dawn Baldhead. Lance O'Brien Bashutsky.
Lance?
Michelle Ernestine Berland. Nisha Dawn Favell. Lisa Janine DeRocher Bouvier. Tyler Allen Gamble. Hannah Eleni Janichos Clark. Rianne Angel Garreau. Kiana Susan Marie Georget. Tiffany Faith Marie Mosquito. Bobby Joe Gladys Okani. Jolene Tatusis. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Education and ask that you will confer on them the post-degree certificate in education, special education. I present to you Christy Lynn Blazeco. Cheryl Janine Dakinovich, sorry. Jasmine Page Ginther. Lisa Nadine Hermiston. Stacy Lynn Coleman. Kendra Lynn Lane. Erica Ann Long. Christopher Eric Scherer. Patricia Lynn Smith. Nicole Lynn Ina Solodic. Tanya Lee Youngworth. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the post-degree certificate in English as an additional language education. I present to you Daniela Marie Clatney. Patricia Ann Hicks.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Education and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Education. I present to you Olamide Yolanda Aina. Tina R. Alexis. Kendall Ray Francis Beta Long. Megan Newman Bevan. Brianna Megan Bird. Megan Gail Campbell. Winona Harriet Seneco. Jing Chan. Agbara Kalu Chukwa. Lauren Michelle Hansen. Angela Dina Elizabeth Psyche. Sherry Lynn Zelayan. Megan Filatra. Shannon April Fitzsimmons. Lisa Marie Forrest. Angie Catherine Gerling. Rochelle Marie Hanley. Andrew Terrence Hartman. Sinai Kavia. Elton George Kashane. Stephanie Lynn Marshall. Anthony Shea McKelchuk. Harriet Mary Henry Miller. Christy Kellen Mitchell Duchak. Saida Musada. Janet Lee Pearson. Blair J.P. Pacio. Lindsay Posberg. Jeremy Guy Ramsden. Tiu Annie Redman. Kristen Tyler Roy. Natalie Rosemarie Suludra. Bethann Rebecca Weeding. Xiu Shai Yu. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Engineering, Civil Engineering. Shuyak Tajid. Electrical Engineering, Miguel Angelo Guevara. David Nicholas Lutzer. Aldo Jacobus Scribanti. Hussein Yaqub. Mechanical Engineering, Brennan Cole Billington. Kevin Adam Bioder. Emer Forik with distinction. Matthew Derek Colbeck. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Engineering and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Engineering. I present to you Muhammad Sami Alam. Nicholas Christopher Kaminsky. Muhammad Shabazz. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Engineering and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Matthew Armo. Yu He. Christopher James Morgan. Stephen Oamanum. Xingfen Shi. Hamadezra Zanjani. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Kinesiology, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. I present to you Keenan Craig Holash with great distinction. Paige Mackenzie Hughes. Trent Adam Cotham. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Kinesiology, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. I present to you Mohammed Kresni, Exercise and Sports Science. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Law, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Juris Doctor. I present to you Gurpreet Kaur Gill. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Medicine and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Adelaide Nas Aisley Ama. Marois Navarro Bautista. Tanis Rochelle Holt. Sarah Annika Martin. Anthony Gordon Pacholka. Robin Melissa Reist. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Nursing, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I present to you Casey Ann Eberl with distinction. Brooke Olivia McCaw with distinction. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Study, I present to you these scholars from the College of Nursing and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Nursing. I present to you Donna Nadine Fletcher-Tung. Regina Irma Garreau-Sissons. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Pharmacy and Nutrition and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Natasha Julia Brooke Bruard. Shirayu Anand Karkara. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the School of Rehabilitation Science and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Physical Therapy. I present to you Eman Abdulhada.
Sydney Ray Bodette. Haley Diana Braun. Jeremy Samuel Campbell. Matthew James Walter Crockford. Deanna Dartige. Melissa Dawn Dirksen. Rebecca Dawn Frank. Garnet Grant Fugel. Jaylise Lynn Gorchuk. Kennedy Brooke Graff. Sarah May Guy. Stephen John Hutton. Miranda Pearl Keeping. Matthew William Kelly. Magda Tate Langton. Chad B. McGee. Thank you. Stephen James Miette. Mason George Najelski. Matthew Leo Palmer. Emma Lee Phillips Mossman. Tegan Rochelle Rose. Jeffrey John Stewart. Tasha Helen Ann Taneschuk. Ashley Kim Trompe. Rachel Emily Ward. Alexis Ann Wojciechowski. Alexandra Jane Zalewski. Janelle Marie Zapsky. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the School of Public Health and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Public Health. I present to you Mahmouda Yasmin. Ibrahim Watara Abubakari. Roya Gavanji. Charmin Sharkar. Eminent Chancellor, On behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the Western College of Veterinary Medicine and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Natalia Cavauca Cardozo, Sarah Janine Hansen, Dana Ray Schultz, Ladies and gentlemen, it is customary at the University of Saskatchewan that after being admitted to their degree, our PhD graduates will be met by their supervisor and escorted to join the platform party in a symbolic welcome to a global community of scholars. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I present to you Ziadeddin al-Baghdadi, Krisha Bernadine Alphonsus, Emma Ne Arukwe Ariyi, Bethany Imogen Baker, Kiran Baral, Miranda Ashley Carey, Bartholomew Chira, Samuel Kwaku Essien, Ziad Mohammed Gaith, Kalhari Venukala Bandara Gunawardene, Mona Mohammed Abdel Moniem Kamis Hamada, Glenn Hamonick, Mohammed Mehedi Hassan, Natasha Lee Hubbard Murdoch, Marcus Makinde Ilesonmi, Yaogeng Lei, Larissa Claire Latosky, Paul Jacob, Royford Bundi Magiri, Teresa Wangari Mena, Jason Michael Maley, Wakas Mazur. Anna Marie Okapiak. Vivian Onaimo. Vladimir Pajic. Akil Ahmad Hareshi. Naresh Ramesh. Mina Sabzavari. Wafi Saha. Hannah Elizabeth Salapa. Penelope Corsino Sanz. Getanesh Berhanu Tasomi. Ahmed Alade Tiamu. Valerie Umae Fulam. Julie Whitrock. Si Xie. Please join me in congratulating these graduates on their certificates, diplomas, and degrees.
In the name of the faculties, I ask you to grant the degrees, diplomas, and certificates in absentia to those students who have met the requirements to graduate but were not able to be present today.
At the request of the faculties, I authorize these degrees, diplomas, and certificates to be granted.
Eminent Chancellor, it is my pleasure this morning to present the 2019 Fall Master Teacher Award to Professor Patricia Dowling from the Western College of Veterinary Medicine. Will you join me? When she describes herself, she sees herself in the classroom. One of the key roles for Professor Dowling is that of storyteller. To do this tribute justice, I thought it might be fitting for me to tell you a bit of a story about Professor Dowling. This story could begin in many places, but for today, I think it begins when Professor Dowling tripped on a garbage can walking into her first lecture in 1993. You can't start there in that moment without knowing immediately that Professor Dowling shows her true self when she steps in front of a room of students. She is authentic and she lets herself be vulnerable. Professor Dowling's story speaks to the creation of a vibrant learning environment. And one of her main areas of expertise and instruction is in clinical pharmacology. As one student said, pharmacology is tough. It's abstract, it's like learning an entirely foreign language, and if you don't master that foreign language, the consequences can be devastating. Professor Dowling delivers and facilitates the material in such a way that our graduates consistently master this important topic. The story for this master teacher involves the theme of positive teaching. Professor Dowling characterizes her journey as moving from what Sherman would say, from teaching as telling to teaching as listening. Indeed, Professor Dowling likes the metaphor of listen like a cow, put forward by scholar M.R. O'Reilly. The idea being that often in our world of academics, we listen for the mistakes or the flaws in the arguments. Cows, by contrast, manage at least the appearance of deep, open-hearted attention. Professor Dowling listens to her students with an open heart and an open mind. This story is about Professor Dowling's leadership in teaching and learning. It is not surprising to hear that she is sought out by colleagues here and around the world. She broke ground almost a decade ago by developing the first course we are aware of in mindful veterinary practice, so that our vet students can develop a set of skills to mitigate the stress that goes along with veterinary medical training. Finally, this brief story speaks to her commitment to professional growth. Professor Dowling is a true innovator, using all the best and high-impact practices that we've got, including such things as flipped classrooms, problem-based learning, developing electronic textbooks for her students, and consistently embracing technology in the classroom that we know ties to optimized learning. This morning, we recognize Patricia Dowling as a master teacher at the University of Saskatchewan, and I offer her my own congratulations and our collective thanks for all she contributes to the learning and discovery missions of this incredible institution.
So congratulations on your big moment, receiving your degrees, certificates, and diplomas. Today you join an ever-growing group of alumni, now over 158,000 University of Saskatchewan alumni around the world. The University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association congratulates you on your success and on your future achievements, and they invite you to a reception at Marquis Hall for a toast to the class of 2019 beginning at 11:30 a.m. You and all your family and friends are welcome to attend that. The following video from the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association will show you where a university degree can take you.
This brings our convocation ceremony to a close. But before we do, I would like to thank a number of people. Our vocalist, Angela Yuritsinen, our drum group, Buffalo Boys Productions, our elder, Roland Duquette, and the phenomenal teams from the Convocation Office and the Office of the University Secretary, all of whom play an important role in making these ceremonies a success. May the future of the University of Saskatchewan, its gifted professors, promising students, dedicated staff, and strong core values continue to benefit and to contribute to the soul of Canada and the world. I wish you the very best. Be the best. And as Dr. Seuss says, yay, you. Now in closing, I ask that you please rise and remain at your seats for the departure of the Lieutenant Governor of Saskatchewan, followed by the platform party.